I'm removing this person from your life, and the name will shock you. There are moments in life when everything begins to change without warning. People who once felt permanent slowly become distant. Situations that seemed impossible to escape suddenly come to an end. You may not understand why it is happening, but deep down, you can feel that something is shifting. This message has found you for a reason. Someone is being removed from your life, and although it may feel confusing at first, this separation is not a punishment, it is preparation. You are being prepared for a new chapter filled with growth, peace, and opportunities that cannot enter your life while certain people or patterns remain attached to you. For a long time, you have carried emotional burdens that were never meant to stay with you forever. You have given your time, energy, loyalty, and love to people who did not always value what you brought into their lives. You have stayed silent to keep the peace. You have sacrificed your happiness so that others could remain comfortable. But that season is ending. There is someone whose presence has been quietly blocking your progress. This person may not be intentionally hurting you, yet their influence has become too heavy for your future to carry. Every great transformation begins with letting go. Before new blessings arrive, space must be created for them. The shocking part is that the name may not be who you expect. Perhaps it is someone very close to you. Perhaps it is a friendship that has already run its course. Perhaps it is a relationship that has been draining your confidence. Or perhaps the person being removed is the old version of yourself, the one who believes that settling for less is all you deserve. Think carefully about the people in your life. Who leaves you feeling exhausted after every conversation? Who celebrates your failures more than your victories? Who discourages your biggest dreams by calling them unrealistic? Who benefits when you stay exactly where you are? These questions are not meant to create fear or suspicion. They are meant to bring clarity. Your future requires honesty. Sometimes, we hold on to people because of history rather than because of healthy connection. Not everyone is meant to accompany you throughout your entire journey. Some people are teachers. Some are lessons. Some are temporary companions who help shape the person you are becoming. Their purpose in your life may already be complete. You have been asking for change. You have been praying for peace, success, happiness, and abundance. Yet true change often begins with release. What is leaving your life today may be making room for something far greater tomorrow. The next chapter of your life will require courage. You may need to say goodbye to familiar patterns, uncomfortable relationships, and limiting beliefs. It may feel difficult in the beginning, but every ending carries the seed of a beautiful new beginning. Trust the process. The person being removed from your life is not taking your happiness away, they may be the very thing standing between you and the happiness that has been waiting for you all along. Sometimes, the greatest blessing is discovering that what you lost was never meant for your future. And when the truth is finally revealed, you will look back at this moment with gratitude and understand why certain people, situations, and versions of yourself had to leave. For months, perhaps even years, you have been receiving signs that something in your life is no longer aligned with who you are becoming. Yet, because you are kind-hearted and loyal, you have continued holding on. You convinced yourself that things would improve if you tried harder, gave more, or waited longer. But not every relationship is meant to be repaired. Some are meant to be released. Have you noticed how certain people only appear when they need something from you? They seek your advice, your time, your support, and your energy, but when you need them most, they are nowhere to be found. Their absence speaks louder than their words ever could. The truth is that growth often feels uncomfortable because it requires separation from what has become familiar. The universe cannot take you to a new destination while you insist on carrying the emotional baggage of your past. Pay attention to the signs. You feel emotionally exhausted after spending time with certain people. You constantly question your own worth around them. Your achievements are minimized or ignored. You feel guilty whenever you choose yourself. You have begun outgrowing conversations and environments that once felt normal. These are not coincidences. They are invitations to evolve. Sometimes, the person being removed from your life isn't dramatic or obviously toxic. They may simply no longer belong in the next chapter of your journey. Not every ending requires betrayal or conflict. Some relationships end because two people are growing in different directions. You are entering a season of self-discovery. In this season, you will learn that protecting your peace is not selfish, it is necessary. There is also another possibility that you may not have considered. The name that will shock you could be your own. The version of yourself that constantly seeks approval from others is being removed. The person who apologizes for taking up space is disappearing. The fearful voice that whispers, "You are not good enough," is losing its power over your life. You are no longer the person you were a year ago. Your experiences have changed you. Your struggles have strengthened you. Your dreams are calling you towards something greater. Do not resist this transformation. The people who truly belong in your life will celebrate your growth rather than fear it. They will encourage you to become everything you were meant to be. They will never ask you to shrink yourself to make them feel comfortable. As you move forward, remember this powerful truth. Not everyone who leaves your life is a loss. Sometimes, their departure is one of life's greatest gifts. Space is being created for healthier relationships, new opportunities, and unexpected blessings. Trust what is unfolding, even if you cannot yet understand the full picture. The chapter that is ending was necessary. The chapter that is beginning has the potential to change your life forever. And soon, the name being removed from your life will no longer shock you, it will finally make perfect sense. There is something you need to understand before this chapter of your life closes forever. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some people are assigned to your journey only long enough to teach you a lesson, reveal your strength, or redirect you toward your true purpose. For far too long, you have mistaken familiarity for destiny. You believe that because someone has been in your life for many years, they must remain there forever. But time alone does not determine whether a relationship is healthy, meaningful, or aligned with your future. Growth changes people. The person you are becoming is different from the person you used to be. Your priorities are changing. Your standards are rising. Your understanding of what you deserve has become clearer than ever before. That is why certain connections are beginning to feel uncomfortable. You may have noticed that whenever you share exciting news, someone immediately points out the risks instead of celebrating your success. When you speak about your dreams, they respond with doubt rather than encouragement. When you are struggling, they make your pain seem insignificant. These moments matter more than you realize. Some people unconsciously keep others small because they fear change. Your growth forces them to confront their own fears, insecurities, and unfulfilled ambitions. Instead of growing alongside you, they may try to convince you to remain where you are. But you were never meant to remain where you started. The person being removed from your life is not necessarily a villain in your story. Sometimes, people are simply incompatible with the future you are creating. Their role in your life has been completed, and holding on to them only delays the blessings waiting for you. This season is teaching you one of life's most important lessons. You do not owe permanent access to people simply because they once had temporary importance. You are allowed to outgrow relationships. You are allowed to choose peace over obligation. You are allowed to walk away from environments that no longer support your emotional, spiritual, or personal growth. Most importantly, you are allowed to become someone new. There is another truth that deserves your attention. The person leaving your life may not physically disappear overnight. Sometimes, what changes first is your perspective. You stop tolerating disrespect. You stop accepting excuses. You stop chasing relationships that require you to abandon yourself. Suddenly, the same people who once held influence over your emotions no longer possess that power. That is when true freedom begins. The universe often removes what you are unwilling to release yourself. Closed doors, unexpected endings, and difficult conversations can become the greatest gifts in disguise. Months from now, you may look back and realize that what felt like rejection was actually protection. You are being guided toward relationships that feel peaceful rather than complicated. Toward opportunities that align with your purpose. Toward a version of yourself that no longer settles for less than you deserve. Do not mourn every ending. Some endings are sacred. Some goodbyes are necessary. And sometimes, the most loving thing life can do is remove the very person you have been afraid to let go of. Your story is not falling apart, it is being rewritten into something greater than you ever imagined. There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize they have been carrying things they were never meant to carry. It doesn't happen all at once. Sometimes, it begins quietly, with a feeling that something no longer fits the life you are trying to build. You may already be experiencing this moment. Conversations that once excited you now leave you feeling drained. Places that once felt like home no longer bring you peace. Relationships that seemed unbreakable have started to feel distant and unfamiliar. These changes are not signs that you are losing yourself, they are signs that you are finally finding yourself. Transformation always requires courage. Many people pray for a better life but become afraid when life begins removing what no longer belongs. They ask for success but resist change. They ask for peace but continue inviting chaos into their lives. They ask for new opportunities while refusing to let go of old limitations. You cannot step into a new chapter while holding tightly to the pages that have already been written. The person being removed from your life may have been present during some of your happiest memories. That can make letting go difficult. We often confuse gratitude for the past with an obligation to remain connected forever. You can appreciate what someone once meant to you without giving them permanent access to your future. This is one of the most powerful lessons you will ever learn. Sometimes, people are meant to accompany you through one season of life and nothing more. Their presence served a purpose. Their lessons helped shape you. Their support mattered when you needed it most. But seasons change, and people do too. You are entering a season that demands something different from you. Greater self-respect. Stronger boundaries. More confidence in your decisions. Less fear of disappointing others. A deeper commitment to your own happiness. The life waiting for you on the other side of this transformation is asking you to become someone who trusts themselves completely. You will no longer need to seek permission to pursue your dreams. You will stop explaining why your goals matter. You will stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Most importantly, you will stop holding on to relationships simply because you fear being alone. There is a difference between loneliness and peace. Many people remain surrounded by others while feeling emotionally exhausted every single day. Choosing peace may require temporary solitude, but it also creates space for healthier and more meaningful connections. Do not be surprised if people misunderstand your growth. Not everyone will celebrate the person you are becoming. Some individuals only feel comfortable when you remain the version of yourself that benefits them. Their disappointment is not your responsibility. The truth is becoming impossible to ignore now. Life is gently but firmly removing anything that no longer aligns with your purpose. What feels like loss today may become the reason you experience abundance tomorrow. Trust the timing of every goodbye. Trust the lessons hidden inside every ending. And trust yourself enough to believe that what is leaving your life is creating room for something far greater than what you are releasing. The name that once shocked you will eventually become the reason you smile with gratitude, because one day you will realize that losing the wrong people made it possible to find the right path. Your new beginning is closer than you think. There is a hidden blessing that most people fail to recognize when someone leaves their life. In the beginning, all you can see is the emptiness they leave behind. You replay old conversations, question your decisions, and wonder whether things could have been different. But time has a remarkable way of revealing truths that emotions often hide. One day, you will wake up and realize that your life feels lighter. The anxiety that once followed you everywhere begins to fade. Your thoughts become clearer. You find yourself laughing more often and worrying less about whether you are good enough for others. Slowly, without even realizing it, you begin returning to yourself. That is when you understand that their departure was not a loss, it was a gift. Some people unknowingly become distractions from the life you are meant to live. They consume your time, your energy, and your emotional resources while offering very little in return. You become so focused on maintaining the relationship that you neglect the relationship you have with yourself. You deserve more than merely surviving your relationships. You deserve relationships that help you thrive. The truth is that your future has been waiting patiently for you. Opportunities have been preparing to enter your life, but they required you to create space first. Growth cannot happen in a crowded room filled with fear, guilt, and unhealthy attachments. Think about the dreams you have postponed because you were afraid of disappointing someone else. Think about the goals you abandoned because another person's opinions became louder than your own intuition. How many versions of your future have you sacrificed simply to keep others comfortable? No more. This chapter of your life is about reclaiming your voice, your confidence, and your direction. It is about realizing that your happiness matters just as much as anyone else's. The person being removed from your life may have taught you valuable lessons. How to recognize emotional imbalance. How to establish healthy boundaries. How to trust your instincts. How to value your peace. How to choose yourself without guilt. Without these lessons, you may never have become the person you are today. That is why you do not need to carry resentment. Not every goodbye must become a battle. Sometimes, gratitude is enough. You can thank people for the lessons they brought into your life while still choosing to move forward without them. There is tremendous power in peaceful endings. As you continue this journey, pay attention to the unexpected blessings appearing around you. New friendships may emerge. Exciting opportunities may present themselves. Your confidence may grow in ways you never imagined possible. Life often rewards courage. The courage to let go. The courage to begin again. The courage to believe that something better is waiting for you. Remember this: when life removes someone from your path, it is not always because they are a bad person. Sometimes, it is simply because they are not the right person for the destination you are moving toward. You are no longer being prepared for where you have been. You are being prepared for where you are going. Trust that every closed door is guiding you toward the one that is meant to open. The greatest blessings are often disguised as painful endings, and someday you will thank life for removing what you once begged it to keep. Your story is only beginning. By now, you may have spent countless moments wondering who this person could be. Your mind has likely traveled through the names of friends, family members, former lovers, and people who have disappointed you along the way. But what if the biggest obstacle standing between you and the life you deserve has been hiding in plain sight? What if the name that will shock you is your own? Yes, you. Not the person you are becoming, but the version of yourself that has quietly held you back for years. The fearful version of you. The version that settles for less than it deserves. The version that remains silent when it should speak. The version that believes happiness belongs to everyone else but somehow feels guilty when it arrives at your own doorstep. For far too long, you have carried beliefs that were never truly yours. Somewhere along the way, you began accepting limitations as facts. You started believing that you were too late, too broken, too inexperienced, or simply not worthy of the life you dream about. Those beliefs became invisible chains. You may have blamed circumstances or other people for your struggles, only to discover that the greatest battle has always been the one taking place within your own mind. How many opportunities have you avoided because you feared failure? How many relationships have you accepted because you feared loneliness? How many dreams have you postponed because you feared judgment? Fear is often far more destructive than failure itself. The old version of you has served its purpose. It protected you during difficult seasons of your life. It helped you survive moments that required caution and resilience. But survival is not the same as living. You are no longer meant to merely survive. You are meant to live fully, confidently, and authentically. That means releasing self-doubt, people-pleasing habits, limiting beliefs, fear of change, the constant need for external validation. The person being removed from your life is the version of yourself that no longer aligns with your future. Imagine waking up each morning without questioning your worth. Imagine pursuing opportunities without assuming failure before you've even begun. Imagine entering relationships knowing that you deserve honesty, respect, and genuine support. That future is possible. But it requires sacrifice. Growth always asks for something in return. In your case, it is asking you to surrender the identity that has kept you small. There will be moments when this transformation feels uncomfortable. You may miss the familiarity of your old habits. You may even feel tempted to return to environments that no longer serve you simply because they are familiar. Do not confuse familiarity with safety. Your future is unfamiliar because you have never lived there before. Every successful, fulfilled, and peaceful version of yourself exists on the other side of decisions that may feel uncomfortable today.